Alright, so today we're going to do a parent run, and this is going to line up hopefully with my parent guides that I have been putting out. So I'll be doing a parent run for the Dirt CM, so this is going to be a Dirt parent. I'm going to be running El Condor Pasa, who's right here. And I really want to make a Dirt legacy, and I don't have very many good Dirt legacies. So my goal here is I'm using this Taiki Shuttle, who is unfortunately just a 1-star blue, but I don't really have a better Dirt on my account, and she has run a lot of races, which is really nice. So I can go ahead and use her to try to maximize some affinity here so that I can inherit Dirt Sparks. My Borrow here is a Aquarius Cup, who is a 3 stamina, 3 dirt. I don't really care too much about the rest of her sparks. They're not great, but she has also ran quite a few races. And so what I've done is I've made an agenda for my El Condor Pasa that combines all of the races that Taiki and Aquarius Cup have both run, so that I can run all of those races on El Condor Pasa and hope to get her with a lot of that race bonus affinity. And then I am going to always borrow Smart Falcon because I don't have her, and she does give groundwork for in her first event chain, which is nice. I'm using this El Condor Pasa as a parent for some front runners, and so I am trying to use Mahona Bourbon so that she can give me taking the lead and front straights and corners. I'm using the Suzuka card for additional front runner abilities. I'm using this Nishino flower for firm conditions and standard distance, and then I'm using this King Halo for Umastand. I don't think the Umastand is great on front runners, but it's always like a good skill to spark if you can, and she does give firm conditions, so I'm just kind of using that. I don't really have like cards that I think would be much better there unless I was just trying to pump stats, but I can get through the career on stats pretty well. Again, if you watch some of my earlier videos about how to do parenting runs, there's always a little bit of homework associated with this when you're trying to just figure out what you want your parent to spark. So you're trying to figure out like what skills you want to find on your cards. You want to try to maximize your chances of hitting those hints. I would have loved to run maybe like a Manhattan Cafe for a Highlander, but I've decided that I kind of like this setup a little bit better. So I'm just going to run this. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. Ideally, again, we're trying to spark dirt. And my methodology for doing these runs is I am going to, first of all, try to shoot for getting 600 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power, doesn't matter on guts, and then 600 wit. And it's a little bit hard to hit when I'm trying to run all these races because my race list here means that I am running, whoops. Oh, can I not load it until after I start? Well, my race list here means that I'm running about 26 races, I believe, in my career. So that's quite a bit, and it does make these stat goals a little bit harder for me to hit, especially when I'm running cards that are not very good. But we usually manage to hit them, and so we're going to keep at it and see what we can do. For parent runs, someone left a really great comment in my last video about how quantity matters a little bit more than quality. Like, if you have to think too hard about any particular turn, you're probably spending too much time on doing your parent runs. And it's better off just to do as many, more is better, because you're trying to roll those slot machines more and more and more. And so I would advise folks that are struggling with kind of the monotony of parent runs to just try to like slam them down and, get through as many of them as you can rather than trying to get like the perfect parent run and putting all your hopes and dreams in that one parent run, sparking like your perfect sparks, right? So yeah, I'm running El Condor Pasa for dirt. The unfortunate thing is that she has a lot of A affinities, which means that she has, there's firm conditions already. But this means that she has about a 1, and here's my groundwork here. El Condor Pasa has about a 1 in 6 chance of sparking a dirt pink spark, which is not ideal. So I've already gotten firm conditions. I don't really need to get any of these. Maybe quarter recovery would be fine, but I think I'd rather rest, just in case I get like a decent training later. And again, like, I'm not really worried about maxing out my friendships. I'm not super worried about doing Unity trainings. I do all of my parent runs in Unity because I do think that Unity is just better in terms of stats and getting skills in general. But I also ignore Unity mechanics. Like, I don't care about winning the Unity Cup. I don't care about winning Unity races. You know, I treat explosions as a nice bonus, but I don't chase them at the expense of things like better parent opportunities. Like, for example, getting this Mihono Bourbon Wit hint, right? I hit that instead of hitting a training that would maybe give me a little bit better explosions, like this one, and that's totally fine. So yeah, I'm actually making this El Condor Pasa parent for Silent Suzuka. I am foolishly trying to see if I can maybe get like a cheeky dirt Silent Suzuka, just because I think it'd be really fun to run her on dirt. And feel like this is one of the last CMs that I can really use her as a runaway. So I want to try to make that as good as I can be and see if we can get a good Silent Suzuka there. We don't get Fast Learner on her Fast Learner event, that's fine. Oh, we did get this nice wood explosion. Alright. Oh, we got another event to get through first. Yay! Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and load my agenda in here. I actually don't have to run anything here, but I'd like to run one of the mile races there just because. I mean, more G1s is always better, but because in this particular run, I'm really trying to maximize my affinities because I'm trying to do this for an Uma who needs to spark twice. I have to spark 2 separate turf sparks. I am really trying to match my races to my parents as much as humanly possible. I don't usually do this if I'm just trying to do like an off-the-cuff parent run, or if I'm trying to do a parent run that's not specialized for a specific Uma or a specific use case. Usually I just try to run as many G1s as I can and I call it a day. However, this specific instance, I did match my agenda with both of my parents' race histories. So in this one, El Condor Pasa should be running every single race that both Taiki Shuttle and that Taiki Shuttle ran, and also running every single race that Ogre Cap ran. It's not always possible because Taiki Shuttle has that sprint aptitude that El Condor Pasa doesn't, so I'm missing out on, I think, 3 total races from Taiki Shuttle. But everything else I was able to line up. And so if I can win a lot of those races, I'm going to be getting a ton of affinity here that will help a lot when it comes to inheriting those crucial skills, or those crucial aptitudes on my Silent Suzuka. So yeah, that's my plan. And again, like I said, we're not really thinking too hard about these. We're just kind of blitzing through them. Because, again, quantity is going to be a little bit better than quality when we're looking at just doing huge handfuls of parent runs like this. Probably should have taken stamina there. So start throwing in races. Another thing that I like to do here is I always buy skills early. Some people don't, which can be really helpful, especially if you're waiting to see if you get like a good hint or a fast learner proc. But I like it because I feel like buying skills early actually does make a pretty big difference in your ability to win races consistently. That's not a very good example, is it? I only lost by a nose! But yeah, so I do buy skills early and often on my parent runs. Again, for Unity, we don't care, so I always just take the second option. You can take the first option if you feel like you can beat it. Second option is always pretty free. I usually do the second option 3 times, then maybe I'll do the first option for the 4th time. But it doesn't really matter. Again, like, we're not trying to maximize Unity. We don't really care about winning against Zenith at the end. It gives us some more stats if we need it, but otherwise it's not, I would not consider it to be crucial. So I don't worry myself about that, because that's just too much to tack on to a run. It's too much mental load. Like I said, just blitz it, right? We're not winning races, huh? Losing a G3 is kind of rough this early, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. I also don't care too much about keeping her in a good mood. Like, it's nice for obviously getting more stats on trainings, but it's not really something that I would consider to be crucial, especially since you race so much. You tend to get mood ups at the end of your races if you hit that random event chance anyway. So I don't usually hit recreation unless I get like to normal or maybe even bad. Inheriting some stam, always fun. Especially because it helps us with races like the Satsuki Show, which is happening right now, and we are a little bit light on the ground in terms of stamina and skills that we can take. I'll just take pace straights. I can usually still pick up everything I need. Another reason that I'm running that Nishino Flower card is because she does have a 15% race bonus, which is really nice for stacking up a lot of skill points, since I'll be running a lot of races anyway. So being able to get that, you know, +4 to all stats after her crew races instead of a +3 is really helpful. Sure. Left-handed is one of the greens in the upcoming CM, so we'll definitely take that one. And then lose the NHK Mile Cup. It feels like sometimes when Uma starts losing, they just like keep losing, right? Like it feels like there's some kind of like hidden momentum aspect to it. I don't know, like sometimes it feels like I have runs where I just win everything and runs where I just lose everything, and I don't feel like my stats are that different. I'm sure it must be, you know, something that I'm missing, but it is a little bit annoying. Yep. Yep. I know, Elle. I know. So when I get the option to, I try to take the Asudakine in the first year. And the reason being, if I lose it, I can try to run it again in my senior year. So that way you just have a little bit of insurance on losing. But we didn't lose, which is great, which means we don't have to run it next year. Doing multiple races in a row is not that big of a deal, especially since we're about to go into summer. So if I get like a mood down or like a skin outbreak or something, I just cure it in the summer. Like we're not trying to absolutely 100% maximize our, yeah, here we go. We're not trying to 100% maximize our stat gains. We're not like trying to maximize our summer. We just want to like our literal entire goal is just finishing this run with like 605 stats and 604 stats and as many skills as we can, you know, pack into this horse, as well as you know, winning as many races as possible. Stats help with winning races, but they're not too hard to win usually anyway. I say this having lost a bunch of races in this run, but you get what I'm saying though. Let's see where this is. Yeah, I'll take it on wit. Nice. And we'll get our mood back up to great. Our stats are, I guess we did get a bunch of -10s earlier in the run. They're not like amazing, but they're not terrible either. I'm usually trying to hit like 400s before senior year. We keep losing. It's fine, Elle. I still love you. Okay, let's take this. Gives me some speed and power, and it gets Suzuki exploding. That's fine. Get our Umamusume. Nice. Exploding on wit. Since we just got Umamusume, let's pick it up. It's just the mile championship. Man, we've gotten a lot of heals on this run, huh? Yeah, I don't see anything that's really gonna help us on mile. I think our power might be low. Nope. I was like, 35% we could gamble it. Nah. Never lucky. Nice. Ooh, early lead is a nice hint to pick up. There we go, that's nice. haven't got anything. Also a very nice final event that just gives me 40 power. I'll pick up groundwork. I'll pick up pace savvy for now. I think we should still be fine to get skills that are actually relevant for our spark later. Just thinking about like proccing groundwork for some easier races here. I'm starting to think about the end of the run, like how my stats are looking right now. My stamina's a little bit low. It's gonna increase quite a bit with this though. Maybe like 40 more stamina here. 58. So looking at my stats here, it looks pretty good actually. Like, if you think about the finale, like you're gonna get about 70 to 100 stats during there. And so really all I have to do is pump stamina and wit a little bit more to hit the 600s that my general goal is. So I'm not too worried about that. I still have like summer ahead of me, although I do have one race that I have to do during summer, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah, so should be pretty doable. The tough part with Condor Pasa is that the Aria McKinnon, she has a B in long, and so she sometimes has difficulties winning the Aria McKinnon with parent stats. So even though there's a change to affinity coming, which will eventually make it to where only G1 races are really important for as far as parent to child affinity. Because we're not on that patch yet, and because I do really need affinity for this Condor Pasa, I am racing all of the G3s and G2s that my Taiki Shuttle and Ogre Cat parent also ran. My end goal here is just as much affinity as I can possibly, like, stuff into this horse. This one I can usually take the top one. It doesn't really matter either way, but you do get, a little bit more stats with this, and you are more likely to hit, like, a rank S in your final, or before the end of the run, you're more likely to hit team rank S, which does help you to get like ramp up and it's on if you have this SP to spare, and it also gives you a little bit of extra stats, which can be helpful for padding out your stats. Focus is nice. We're gonna try to pump stamina right now because we're a little bit low. Ooh, nice random event proc. I think that we got Focus, which I'm going to pick up just in case it helps her to proc Groundwork. I'd usually run like the Queen Elizabeth Cup here, but it won't really do a whole lot for the legacy that I'm currently building, so instead I will rest. Okay, now we're kind of free to do what we want. I'm gonna do this one because I want her to be able to win the Ari McKinnon. I don't want to use my clocks. And let's see. Ari McKinnon time. My goal right now is to try to see if I can pick up skills that will help her, but also be decent to inherit. I guess I could get Ignited Spirit. And then the rest of it, we're not going to get other skills here, so we'll just pick up a couple of these. Great. Nice. And again, like, we kind of want to lose against Zenith because we don't really want to fight them in the finals, but I have a really... Okay, good. I have a really bad habit of accidentally beating Zenith. But this is fine because this means that we will not fight at them in the finals, which means that I can probably win the finals without losing any clocks, which is always nice. Man, I am a little bit nervous about stamina, but I do want to see if I can get this extra hint. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, it's front corner. It's probably worth it. And this does mean, looks like I can probably take stamina twice for the next two times. This is, again, where running a little bit of extra race bonus really comes in handy, because getting the, 14, 16, 18, plus all stats here is really nice. Kind of wish that our explosion was on Stam, but I'm not gonna risk going from 564 to 600. This is much safer. I've had too many runs end with like 599 in one stack because I tried to push it a little bit, so. Alright, well, that's a parent run. Not too bad. I lost a little more races than usual, but it's all really just down to the sparks and what kind of skills that I can get here. So yeah, we got over 600 in 4 out of 5 stats, which is generally my goal. We're gonna go ahead and pick up a couple extra skills. We did get that front corners. That'll be nice. Let's see. We'll pick up top pick as well. Yeah, I could pick up Curvature. I'm kind of tempted to take Moxie just in case I decide that I want to run like an Ogre, like a Christmas Ogre, so I'll just do that. Again, like, don't agonize too much over this. It's just kind of, you know, one and done, right? And unfortunately, this is not great. I got the 10-star, or 10% 2-star guts. Well, it is what it is. But yeah, so that's kind of how I do my parent runs. 20 wins, pretty decent. It's, you know, the affinity is going to be pretty good. If I had rolled better sparks, it would have been a pretty viable parent. But that is generally how I try to do things in accordance with the guides that I've released. You know, I made sure that the parents that I'm inheriting from are, you know, good for my aptitudes. I made sure that they have some skills that I wanted to try to spark from. I have matched all of my races to theirs so that I could run the same races to maximize my affinity. I've curated my decks to make sure that the decks that I'm using have skills that I want to try to get for my, you know, the eventual like Ace Uma that I'm trying to build. And then while running the run, I made sure that I got over 600 in 4 stats, which is just what I try to do to maximize my chances of getting a 2-star blue. And aside from that, let's see. Unfortunately, Condor Pasa, since I'm trying to get a dirt spark, does have 6 aptitudes that I could possibly get a pink spark from, which is a little bit annoying. It just means that I have to do a couple more runs on her to get some good dirt sparks. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that this was helpful, even if I wound up getting a not great final result at the end. Maybe that's a little bit more relatable. But thank you so much, and I will see you next time.